We are literally mid-channel now between Dover and Calais, and behind me you can see a white dinghy. There are 45 people on board. Behind it you can see an escort vessel, because that's what the French do, despite the 500 million quid we've given them.
These are the French who the British taxpayer are giving 500 million quid to. What do they do with the money? They escort the migrants to the Brits and hand them over to us and say, it's your problem now, Britain. I mean, why are we even paying them a penny? I'm Chloe Dobbs. I've been away for a month. Those of you who are new subscribers may not know who I am. Those of you who are old, you may have missed me, or you may be frustrated that I'm back. Both opinions allowed. But I'm frustrated to see, after being away for a month, that I'm coming back to more dinghies crossing the channel. We've got a nice heat wave now, and that means two things. One good, one bad. One good is I'm going to get a nice tan and you're all going to enjoy a nice beach day. But the bad news is it means the dinghies are going to be coming across and across and across. Is anyone going to stop them? No, and I definitely don't think the French are.
Literally, once these boats are afloat, escort them to our 12-mile line where they hand them over to Border Force. That of itself, I think, is outrageous. But the significance of this boat is that this number on this vessel take it beyond 50,000 that have come since Rishi Sunak has been Prime Minister. During Boris Johnson's time, 68,000 came, but he was there for double the period. So don't delude yourselves. This problem is getting worse. So we're witnessing a really very, very big, significant number today. And of course, Sunak talks about Rwanda and much else. But I'm afraid I see no sign under either Labour or the Conservative parties of this problem ending. I don't think they've got the guts to do what it takes.
So, at the very least, reform in terms of what it takes would get the French to say, if you spot a boat, you bring it back to your shores, you don't bring it over to our shores.
Well, absolutely, because these boats are illegally taking off from France. They're vulnerable boats. And yes, the French Navy should be taking them straight back. Quite how we've managed to give them £500 million and to allow this practice to continue is completely and utterly beyond.
Nigel was absolutely spot on. I mean, it is absolutely beyond me that we are giving £500 million to these people who are basically kicking them out of France and saying, go to Britain. And I mean, you can understand why, because why would the French want to take the migrants? They would quite happily have it be Britain's problem. That's a huge problem with the incentive structure around migration, is that every country wants to make it somebody else's problem. So why would the French spend our £500 million wisely unless we hold them to account? Why are we still giving them money if they're doing that, literally escorting them across to Britain? I mean, it's absolutely bonkers. And good on Nigel for actually getting out there and showing us what is actually happening in the channel, because Rishi's not doing it, Keir Starmer's not doing it. They all claim they're going to stop the boats, but none of them have the backbone to do so. And Rishi's claiming to us that he's got boat crossings down by a third after he did a deal with Albania, but let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? So let's have a look at this. We've got the small boat crossings from the start of the year, and you can see, is 2024 any better than the previous few years? Absolutely not. Looks like it's the worst one on record yet. And what's even more horrifying is that in France, this is from a Telegraph article that's just come out, saying that migrants in France are waiting for a Labour government. So Keir Starmer has vowed to scrap Rwanda deportation flights on day one if his party wins power. Of course he is, because Keir Starmer is too soft to send anybody to Rwanda. But what this means is the boat crossing numbers are bad now. They're going to get even worse after Keir Starmer comes into power, because you've got a bunch of migrants who are in Calais, they're in Dunkirk, and they're holding back because they're scared of Rwanda. And as soon as Keir Starmer comes in, they're going to be getting themselves on those boats. They're going to be getting themselves on those lorries over to Britain. So I really would not be surprised if by the end of the year, this is the worst year on record. I mean, it is just a shame that the two main parties in this country haven't got the backbone to do anything about it. The Conservatives have been in power for all these years and they've done bugger all, even though they say they're going to stop the boats. I'm sure that Keir Starmer will just completely open the border and let them all in and make Britain second-class citizens, as they have already been for years. And This is why reform is gaining so much more support. And, you know, the French are the ones that you really want to be angry at here, as opposed to the migrants themselves. The French are basically kicking them onto those boats and onto those lorries. Those French riot police, they will go round and they will tear gas the migrants. They will slash their tents. They will beat them up. They'll treat them like absolute shit so that they get on a boat and they go to Britain. But they'll send us the odd video of them stopping a migrant boat from leaving the beach so that we think that our money is being well spent. Don't be fooled at all. This problem is going to get a lot worse before it gets better, I fear. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys back again tomorrow. It's good to be back, and I will see you again very soon.